Please explain in detail about AP psychology. On the experiment, social psychology studies on social pressure and altruism. AP psychology, the experiment and social psychology studies. The experiment. A fundamental method in psychological research, the experiment is designed to establish cause and effect relationships between variables. The key components of an experiment are: 1. Independent variable, IV. The variable manipulated by the experimenter to assess its impact on the dependent variable. By controlling the IV, researchers can observe whether it produces changes in the DV. 2. Dependent variable, DV. The variable assumed to be affected by the independent variable, measured to determine any changes resulting from the manipulation of the IV. 3. Confounding variable. These extraneous variables may inadvertently influence the results, causing uncertainty as to whether the observed changes in the DV are due to the IV or the confounding variables. 4. Experimental group. Participants exposed to the manipulation of the independent variable, allowing researchers to observe any potential effects on their behavior or mental processes. 5. Control group. An unexposed comparison group used to gauge the baseline behavior or mental processes without the influence of the IV. 6. Subject bias. Occurs when a participant's behavior changes due to their preconceived beliefs about the expected outcomes of the experiment, potentially skewing the results. 7. Researcher bias. When a researcher's expectations inadvertently influence their observations or recordings during the experiment, causing a distortion of the results. 8. Double-blind technique. A method employed to control for biases by ensuring that both the participant and the researcher remain unaware of the participant's group assignment, preventing any influence of expectations on the experiment's outcome. 9. Placebo. An inactive substance or sham treatment given to participants in place of the experimental treatment, commonly used in control groups to account for potential placebo effects. Social psychology studies. Social psychology investigates how individuals think, feel, and behave in social situations. Notable studies and concepts include: 1. Zimbardo's prison study. A landmark study examining the effects of assigned roles on behavior, revealing that participants designated as guards or prisoners began to display corresponding behaviors, illustrating the power of situational factors on human behavior. 2. Hawthorne Effect. The phenomenon in which people alter their behavior when they believe they are under observation, suggesting that the mere presence of an observer can influence participants' actions. 3. Darley and Lataine's Bystander Effect. A study demonstrating that the presence of others can lead to a diffusion of responsibility, making individuals less likely to intervene in an emergency. E.g., Kitty Genevieve's case study, as they assume someone else will take action. 4. Asch Conformity Study. A series of experiments showing that individuals will conform to group opinions, even when they believe the group consensus is incorrect. E.g., judging lines of different lengths, due to the pressure to conform. 5. Milgram's Obedience Study. A groundbreaking study exploring obedience to authority, finding that 65% of participants were willing to administer what they believed to be dangerous electric shocks to a Confederate when instructed by an authority figure, highlighting the powerful influence of authority on human behavior. 6. Festinger's Cognitive Dissonance Theory. A psychological theory stating that people experience discomfort when their actions conflict with their beliefs, prompting them to change either their beliefs or their actions to restore cognitive consistency. Social pressure. 1. Conformity. The phenomenon of adopting the attitudes or behaviors of others due to real or imagined pressure, which can occur in various forms, such as normative or informational conformity. 2. Social norms. Shared standards of behavior within a group or society that guide and constrain individuals' actions. 3. Reciprocity norm. The expectation that people will respond in kind to how they have been treated, fostering cooperation and pro-social behavior. 4. Compliance. The act of acquiescing to a request from a person without authority, often achieved through techniques such as foot in the door in the face, or low-balling, which rely on principles of commitment, contrast, and manipulation. 5. Obedience. Compliance with directives given by someone who possesses authority, highlighting the strong influence of perceived authority on human behavior. Altruism and group dynamics. 1. Altruism. The selfless concern for the well-being of others, leading to acts of kindness, assistance, or cooperation without expecting anything in return. 2. Bystander intervention. The phenomenon of individuals stepping in to help someone in a harmful or dangerous situation, which can be influenced by factors such as empathy, personal responsibility, and perceived ability to help. 3. Bystander effect. The tendency for individuals to be less likely to help when multiple people witness an emergency, due to a diffusion of responsibility and the assumption that someone else will take action. 4. Social facilitation. The tendency for people to perform better on simple, well-learned tasks when in the presence of others, attributed to increased arousal and motivation. 5. Social loafing. The reduction in individual effort when working in groups compared to working alone, often caused by the perception that individual contributions are less noticeable or significant in a group setting. 6. Risky shift. The observation that groups often make riskier decisions than individuals, which can be attributed to factors such as diffusion of responsibility, group polarization, and conformity pressures. 7. De-individuation. The loss of personal identity and self-awareness when individuals become part of a larger group, leading to a decrease in self-restraint and an increase in impulsive, aggressive, or antisocial behavior, as individuals feel less accountable for their actions. 8. Groupthink. A phenomenon in which members of a cohesive group prioritize agreement and harmony over critical thinking and accurate decision-making, potentially leading to flawed decisions as dissenting opinions are suppressed or disregarded. In summary, AP Psychology covers a broad range of topics related to experiments and social psychology, developing a thorough understanding of key concepts such as independent and dependent variables, confounding variables, and experimental and control groups is essential for conducting effective experiments. Social psychology studies offer valuable insights into human behavior in social situations, emphasizing factors such as conformity, obedience, altruism, and group dynamics. Knowledge of these topics is not only crucial for students of psychology but also vital for understanding human behavior in general.